Growing up, I've always struggled with anxiety and depression because it's genetic in my family. So my parents have it, and I've always appeared to be the happiest girl, and I've masked my anxiety and depression with a smile and said everything was fine.
Among college students, mental health is a pressing issue. Besides the stressors of schoolwork and being away from home, young adults ages 18 to 24 are within a range that is a common time for the onset of many mental illnesses.
I was faced with the hard decision of withdrawing from St. Joe's for the fall semester, and I thought that that would be the easy decision. But when I returned home, everyone was like, "Why are you home? Like, college is an adjustment." And I said, I was struggling with my mental health, and they're like, "Oh, like you have to give it time." And so, but I was too sick to stay, so I worked really hard at home to get better.
The misconceptions and lack of understanding about mental health are the reasons that ActiveMinds Inc. was created.
So, ActiveMinds was started in a dorm room at the University of Pennsylvania. Our founder and executive director, Allison Malman, was a freshman when she lost her older brother Brian, to suicide. He'd been struggling for several months, but didn't know where to seek help or how it was going to affect him. So instead, stayed silent until he ended up taking his own life. And at the time, there was nothing really committed to young people rallying around the idea that we should talk about mental health and we should get treatment and help our peers with these struggles. So Allison saw that need and developed Active Minds first as a campus group just for her school and her friends to be a part of. Then one of her friends ended up transferring, and it ended up at Georgetown and then at Duke, and then it just kind of sprung up from there, and she saw a real need to be filled.
I think Active Minds is such an amazing organization because it was started by a student, so I think it shows that this is something that's happening, and it kind of has brought awareness to different campuses that this is something that's happening to people around you, and to just show everybody that you're not alone in this, and that we're here to support you when we want to spread awareness.
As a result of Active Minds, a lot of conversations are happening, people are asking questions, and there's events that are raising awareness, like the Suicide Prevention Walk and Stomp Out Stigma. And I think that Active Minds is definitely growing at St. Joe's, and we're working hard to have more of a presence on the campus.
The St. Joseph's University chapter of Active Minds is one of over 400 across the globe. Holding events like Stomp Out Stigma gives students an interactive way to get involved with ending the stigma related to mental health. Writing a phrase or word and then stomping on it with the bubble wrap placed on top is not only fun, but also sends the message that people need to be more educated on mental illness to promote more acceptance and understanding. At events like this, informational material is also made available.
It's something that a lot of people just don't understand, and I think just being uneducated about it, you immediately stigmatize people because you don't want to know more. You need to educate yourself in this because it's so much more than what people think.
Active Minds is definitely raising awareness about mental illness, and it is encouraging those difficult conversations surrounding mental illness, especially the stigma around it.
I think a big thing that we like to advocate is CAPS is our counseling center on campus. That we're not CAPS, but we are somebody who wants to advocate for mental health, and we want to spread awareness, educate people so people aren't saying, as we're doing today with Stomp Out Stigma, saying stigmatizing phrases and words when they just don't simply understand. Actually, what we have at St. Joe's, we have CAPS and we have different suicide hotlines, different things like that, and we really promote that and get the information out, as we have a little magnet over here that's a little phone, and it's text messages that show all the different resources we have on campus.
67% of college students are more likely to tell a friend that they're struggling with their mental health than an adult, so a teacher or a counselor.
So getting them to see the school counselor or calling suicide prevention hotlines, whatever it takes to get them help, That's the things that you can do. You can't be somebody's therapist and you can't save somebody's life, but you can push them in the directions and be by their side throughout all of it.
ActiveMinds is continuing to spark those difficult conversations and make the topic of mental health more comfortable for everyone.
It's okay to ask for help and reach out and get help, and by sharing my story, I can't tell you how many times I've shared my story and helped like at least one other person, because it's so unbelievably common, especially on college campuses, and that's why I think it's really important for people to know that they're not alone and it's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed of.